So look at this. We are down to the wire.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Are you okay? In your neck of the
When
bush?
we dry them up, too cool. Now go too deep, you know. Yeah, yeah, fair watch Joe, you know. Our troops, see there? Apple cider vinegar and our troops. Come up right, make them get saturated in the gravy and all of that. On today's episode of the Jamaican cooking journey, I'll be sharing with you a different form of rundown. Today, I'll be using a vegetable, no meat involved. I'll be using some callaloo. This is the Jamaican vegetable, and I see some people comparing it with spinach. It's more chewy, more chewable, or it's more harder to cook than spinach. Spinach is something that's easily cooked. I would not compare it to spinach. Spinach is of a different texture, a more smoother texture. But if you can't get callaloo where you are, you can use the spinach, but you would have to cook it. Let it be a shorter cooking time, okay? Collard greens probably could. I think I've seen collard greens in the markets here some time ago. Probably some people might want to use cabbage. Whatever the greens that you can find, other people in other Caribbean countries, they can find other stuff. I have here some callaloo that have been cleaned, washed, and properly shredded. How did you do that? There is a video that I have gone in depth on the channel here showing you how to prepare your callaloo from scratch. I'm going to link it up somewhere in the description and you go check it out. So if you by any means happen to get fresh callaloo, if you want to get the real callaloo rundown taste, so you could use the one in the tins. Mind you, I cannot say a lot about the one in the tin. I have never used it. So maybe people that have used the one in the tin could, drop a little comment or two in the comment section, helping people to understand better. Now right on over here, I would have my coconut milk and I've started boiling. We are coming down to rundown. What I want to show you is the difference. See, if you had watched the Reddering rundown, you would have seen how we adjusted, at what interval we put in what. Now today, this is just to show you, as I said before, rundown is just a basic dish. You can add whatever you want. Hence, making me showing you how to use vegetable to make a rundown as opposed to pickled meat and all of that. I have done I wouldn't say quite a few. I think I've done saltfish. I've done red herring the other day. I think I did salt mackerel with gully beans or susumba. I have there a steamed fish in a rundown. And basically, I think that's about it. And I did the other day, just a few days back or a few videos back, the red herring rundown. So I am at this point. If you had watched that rundown, you would know where I am at this point. You see, I've used the same dry coconut and I am coming down to where I am supposed to be. It's a little different technique with the vegetable, especially with the callaloo, that takes a little time to steam. I have added callaloo videos there that show you how to steam callaloo. Okay, so as we go, we'll grow. And I have got some carrots here just to bring a little life to this green callaloo. Look at this. Yeah, I've also added all my favorite condiments that I used in the other rundowns. Green thyme, tomatoes. I have here lots of green scallions and garlic, lots too. I have here some onions. Not that onions do a great deal, but look, I think they like company, so I'm gonna add them. I have this little bell pepper. No. I might not, because actually this bell peppers, the flavor that it gives, it doesn't go well with everything. That's just for me. That may not be your take. So I may or may not use this. Let's see how it goes. Black pepper, salt. I will not be adding any form of artificial seasonings. or even though I use my basil and those, I'll not be adding those. I want the callaloo. The callaloo has a very lovely flavor, and so does the rundown. I want them to just blend together with these natural herbs, and I want to get out that beautiful natural flavor. I'll catch you in the next clip. So I am way down and I still have a long way to go. But this is when I start flavoring up. And that is my scallions and garlic. Lots of scallions on me, lots of garlic in my callaloo. I don't know about you. Now, I'm putting in my thyme. It is coming down now to the oil and the custard part, but I am flavoring up right here. Remember, this isn't gonna finish with a lot like the saltfish. Remember, we're gonna steam the callaloo down in there, so we have to let it come right down, but you need time to flavor up ahead of putting in the callaloo. So hence I'm doing this that I always do with my callaloo. Lots of scallions, lots of fresh green thyme, and lots of garlic. So it is in there, and you notice there isn't a lot of liquid. You notice if we were putting in like saltfish and stuff, we'd almost be there, but we're not putting in any saltfish, so we're letting it come right down. So this is what it is doing here now, is giving off all those flavors from the herbs, the scallion, the thyme, and the garlic. They're the most flavorful stuff right here. So I'm putting it in there, so as it comes down to the oil and the custard, it is flavoring up this rundown. We're going to let it flavor it some more. And when we're ready to put in the callaloo, no, we're going to be putting in our tomatoes. If you notice in the red herring, I put in the tomatoes first. Okay, if you remember, if you have not watched it, go watch it. I'm going to leave the link also. I did it like just a few videos back. So I'll catch you in the next clip. So I am way down and I still have a long way to go. But this is when I start flavoring up. And that is my scallions and garlic. Lots of scallions on me, lots of garlic in my callaloo. I don't know about you. Now, I'm putting in my thyme. It is coming down now to the oil and the custard part, but I am flavoring up right here. Remember, this isn't gonna finish with a lot like the saltfish. Remember, we're gonna steam the callaloo down in there, so we have to let it come right down, but you need time to flavor up ahead of putting in the callaloo. So hence I'm doing this that I always do with my callaloo. Lots of scallions, lots of fresh green thyme, and lots of garlic. So it is in there, and you notice there isn't a lot of liquid. You notice if we were putting in like saltfish and stuff, we'd almost be there, but we're not putting in any saltfish, so we're letting it come right down. So this is what it is doing here now, is giving off all those flavors from the herbs, the scallion, the thyme, and the garlic. They're the most flavorful stuff right here. So I'm putting it in there, so as it comes down to the oil and the custard, it is flavoring up this rundown. We're going to let it flavor it some more. And when we're ready to put in the callaloo, no, we're going to be putting in our tomatoes. If you notice in the red herring, I put in the tomatoes first. Okay, if you remember, if you have not watched it, go watch it. I'm going to leave the link also. I did it like just a few videos back. So I'll catch you in the next clip. Look at where we're at. Look at where we are at. We're down to nothing almost, but we're still just gonna be putting in our tomatoes. We're gonna just add our onions too. While we are putting our tomatoes now, they are gonna produce some extra liquid. You know, tomato full of juice, and we're gonna up our flame. So all of that is happening. Also now, it is very important that we add our salt. And I know you're going to say to me, Mr. but me never see you add the salt in the red herring. Remember, the red herring is pickled. This is fresh callaloo. Okay? So we got to add some salt right here. So add in a little salt to taste. You use your salt of choice. And we're just gonna have our heat up on the high. and we are going to let it come right down until you see all that oil coming through, and then we are going to come back to you. Look at this. Look at this. Beautiful. Now look at this pan. We would have added our saltfish and all them something there already. Look at this. Now you see that it's drying out to nothing. If we're using saltfish, it sounds like it's like at this stage frying. Now this is the time. Let's lower our flame for you to put your callaloo in. You don't want to put your callaloo in before now, because your callaloo produces lots and lots of like water, because we're going to steam it down. And these green leafy vegetables, you know, they produce. My hands are clean, and so should yours when you're doing your cooking in your kitchen. So we're going to put this in there. We have turned our flame down a little. So I'm going to show you now. This is how we're doing it. Remember, we have put our salt in, because you know the salt brings flavors together. So it spells sense to put the salt in from then. Now this is on top of our rundown and all our little condiments right there. Let's not try to forget this little waffle sweet pepper. I don't know, it's not right, but that's what we have. You see it? Yeah. So I think the ripe ones will be better. Now is the time for you to just put a little frame. Let the color look, you know, bring up the color look. Still on too much of a high heat. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm just gonna get it down to low. Now we will be steaming our callaloo. The steaming process begins. Now I'm gonna get my cover for Jessie. I'm gonna put it down. You notice everything has subsided, all the frying and everything. My heat is down to low. I leave that and I'll come back in another 7 minutes and I'll show you what will be happening. Next clip. Okay, let's get in now. This is what steaming is like. You see that? So what we're going to be doing now, you know what we're going to be doing. We're going to go from the bottom and we are going to get all those that we add in there. Everything. Look at it. You see it? You see? All we have here mostly is like the oil from the rundown. Let us get that thing up. Dad, what do you think about this? Yes, man. Yes. If we had put it in any earlier, we would have so much water to contend with. In Dad? So we are going to let this steam down in that small amount of liquid. We are not supposed to get to add our black pepper here. We are supposed to add black pepper. Add in some black pepper. Black pepper always does certain dishes, but you don't have to add too much, family. And this is where you're gonna give it a thorough stir. Also, you are to make sure that you have enough salt, because salt add whole heap what make water produce enough to in them kind of leafy vegetable here, you know. So you see it, this is the custard. You're mixing it up all over. You see it looking in the rundown. Yeah, so we are gonna let this steam down. The additional steaming part will give the callaloo that final cook. Callaloo is not something that cook the same time as cabbage. No, callaloo is more chewy. Neither does it cook in the same time as spinach. That's the difference. It takes a longer time to be properly cooked. Oftentimes you go and you get food to eat and you get callaloo and the stalks are as chewy as ever. No, the callaloo is supposed to be cooked properly. But be careful of overcooking when it becomes like extra dark. Next clip. So look at this. We are down to the wire. Just as I would steam my callaloo with just about a small amount of juices in there. Just not to let my callaloo all be dried out. This is it. Look at it. Look at it. Not too dark. Get our flame off. We're going to let it cool down. We're going to plate up some and return. From my kitchen to yours, from my Jamaican kitchen to your family table, to your plate, and most of all, it is steamed callaloo done in Jamaican rundown sauce. Family, this is chock filled with lots and lots of natural herbs, flavors from them, flavor from that coconut milk, cooked right down to rundown stage. Okay, I hope you do enjoy. I hope you'll try. For those people who are not into meat, you could just try this. Okay, if you want to add something to it, you could put some dried shrimp. You could put some saltfish. You could even put a tin of mackerel. Okay, try it, make it your own. Okay, thanks for the love, thanks for the support. Remember to make sure, if you think this video deserves a thumbs up, remember to give me one. Remember to leave me a comment below. Tell me how you do yours. You're not supposed to have this finishing with a lot of, even though it's done in the rundown sauce, you have the sauce like in a sort of like a sort of liquidy form when you're putting pickle to it. When you're putting vegetable, the callaloo is filled with all that moisture from the rundown, so you don't lose anything. When you start eating it, you'll see, you'll enjoy it. Now I've served it up for you with some crispy roasted fried breadfruit. What you think about that? Get yourself a cup of coffee, and you want to make it more Jamaican, you want to make it more authentic and something, get some jelly water. Thanks once more for the love. Be you, do you. Most of all, love you some Jamaican steamed callaloo in rundown sauce.